Chapter 12, 99, Another Trade, Translator, Atlas Studios, Editor, Atlas Studios. The difficulty of refining one rank. 6 Immortal Goo was very different from refining a rank 7 Immortal Goo. Fang Yuan wanted to use rank 6 Flying Bear Strength Immortal Goo to exchange for rank 7 Divination Tortoiseshell. Immortal Goo, if spoken nicely. He was dreaming, but to be blunt, he was simply too greedy. He was trying to take advantage. This taking advantage also gave a feeling of disdain. Who did he think Miao Mingshen was? Was he easy to bully? Or did he think the others were fools? Thus, the Gu Immortals having grim expressions was understandable. Fang Yuan smiled. He saw these immortals' attitude and expressions. He knew why these people had a change of emotion. But he still asked, "Will you exchange it?" Miao Mingshen smiled forcefully, but he nodded. "Yes, you have helped me twice. These will suffice." The other Gu Immortals heard this and looked at Miao Mingshen in a different light. Their disdain towards Fang Yuan increased. One of them even snorted coldly, expressing his unhappiness towards Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan suddenly laughed. He said, "Everyone has said how incredible Lord Miao Mingshen is. I was disbelieving, but after today, I completely agree. How can I take advantage of you? I will compensate you with something else. You will definitely be pleased." Saying this, Fang Yuan transmitted to Miao Mingshen secretly. Miao Mingshen heard this and his expression changed. He became excited. "Chu Ying, are you serious? Ha ha ha, let's do the deal now. You will know if it's true or false." Fang Yuan laughed again. "Sorry, we need to do this transaction alone," Miao Mingshen said as Fang Yuan followed him to leave the cave. They went outside for the transaction afterwards. The two returned with smiles on their faces. Fang Yuan was relaxed, while Miao Mingshen was smiling in a pleased manner. The two were walking together closely. Everyone could tell that their relationship had gotten closer. After sitting down, Miao Mingshen cupped his fists at Fang Yuan. "I owe you a third favor. Your demeanor is truly magnificent. This is merely a transaction. There is no favor." Fang Yuan was very polite. These words made the Gu Immortals very perplexed. At once they started guessing. What did Chu Ying trade to make up for the difference and make Miao Mingshen so happy? Miao Mingshen sat down, but Fang Yuan did not. After this transaction, it was Fang Yuan's turn. He went on the platform. The immortals looking at him had different gazes now. They were solemn and curious, with probing intentions. At the same time, they were curious about what Fang Yuan was going to offer. This was because they did not know Fang Yuan. He was a stranger. According to Fang Yuan's offer, they would be able to guess some information about him, like what immortal materials he had in abundance. They were often produced in their own blessed lands. This way, some intelligence could be deduced, like how developed Fang Yuan's immortal aperture was, and what types of Dao marks he had inside. If it were 1 or 2 damaged ancient desolate beast corpses, they were often the Gu Immortals' spoils of battle. If an ancient desolate beast reared in the immortal aperture died, the corpse would not be damaged. Such corpses would allow the immortals to assess Fang Yuan's battle strength as well. Gu Immortals focused heavily on gathering intelligence. On this aspect, Information Path Gu Immortals had the greatest advantage. But what Fang Yuan took out shocked them. "Everyone, take a look. This is a Bone Path Rank 6 Immortal Gu Bone Spike. I obtained it by chance, but I am not a Bone Path Gu Immortal. I want to trade with it. Does anyone want this? As for what I want in return, I am like Lord Miao Mingshen. I have no specific preference." Fang Yuan smiled. "An Immortal Gu again. This is the first round. There are actually 2 Immortal Gu transactions. This Chu Ying is quite rich. He is a Transformation Path Gu Immortal, but he had 2 Immortal Gu of other paths. The first transaction is done, but this one might not succeed. There are no Bone Path Gu Immortals here." The Gu Immortals talked to each other secretly. They were close with one another. "None." Fang Yuan waited for a while, but no Gu Immortal spoke. He felt no disappointment. The rank 7, Immortal goo, divination tortoise shell, was worth coming to this trading convention. Just when Fang Yuan was about to step down, a voice said, "Wait, I think we can trade with this immortal goo." The immortals turned to look. It was Wu Maiyang. Strange, he is a dark path goo immortal. Why does he want a bone path immortal goo? This question appeared in everyone's minds. Bone spike. Immortal goo had no relation with dark path. But if Wu Maiyang had any immortal killer moves that needed bone spike immortal goo, then it was possible for him to want this immortal goo. Everyone had their own secrets. Even though the goo immortals were puzzled, they held in their questions and watched quietly. There is a goo immortal who wants bone spike immortal goo? Fang Yuan was also curious. He asked, "I wonder what you would like to trade with?" Wu Maiyang frowned. He hesitated a little before gritting his teeth. "I will trade this immortal goo." He displayed this immortal goo. It was a rank 6 immortal goo, on the same rank as bone spike immortal goo. The goo immortals looked as someone cried out, "This is day immortal goo?" That's right, this was the rank 6-time path day goo. Fang Yuan was stunned. "I did not expect this. This trading convention was really worth it." Fang Yuan rejoiced internally, but his expression was blank. He seemed to be in deep thought. There was no need to think. The moment Fang Yuan saw this immortal goo, he wanted it. The reason? Because he had He Fan's true inheritance. He had rank 7-year goo, after immortal goo, and years flow like water, as well as a bunch of time path immortal killer moves. He remembered that in the true inheritance, He Fan had been talking about immortal level day goo and month goo non-stop. He remembered those 4 immortal killer moves, days pass like years, and the rest. If the inheritor can obtain immortal level day goo or month goo, these 4 immortal killer moves would not need to expend so many mortal day goo and month goo. The effect would even rise greatly. These were the words recorded in He Fan's true inheritance. Fang Yuan saw this and did not think much of them. He was not overly ambitious. Year goo was enough to satisfy him. But destiny was very mystical, when Fang Yuan had placed no attention on immortal level. Day goo and month goo. Day goo appeared right in front of him like this. Let's exchange it. Even though I am not familiar with time path, feeding bone spike immortal goo is certainly a burden. Fang Yuan said, "My day goo consumes the water of the river of time. It has no feeding problems. However, I cannot use this immortal goo. I might as well trade it for bone spike immortal goo to add into my immortal killer moves," Wu Maiyang said. The two traded quickly. The original wills inside the 2 immortal goo left as the other party's immortal essence entered. The goo immortal's will inside the immortal essence was the true key to refining goo. In Earth's terms, wills were like a preset program to goo worms. Wills could think. Wild goo worms had their own wills. Refining wild immortal goo was simply using the goo immortal's will together with immortal essence to erase the wild will. Wild wills had the instinct to survive. They could not destroy themselves. Thus, even though it was tough for goo immortals to refine immortal goo, it was not risky. Other people's immortal goo were different. A goo immortal's will was vastly different from wild will. Trying with brute force to refine someone else's immortal goo would only destroy it. For example, Fang Yuan could recall his immortal goo with just a special will set inside them. Basically, all goo immortals would not allow another person to refine their immortal goo directly. Once that was happening, the will inside the immortal goo would destroy the goo worm. Unless wisdom path methods were used to suppress the immortal goo's will, but usually it would be hard to suppress all of it in an instant. With a small flaw, the immortal goo would be destroyed. Precisely because of this, even though Fang Yuan captured He Cheng, he did not obtain Dark Arrow immortal goo. And because of this, even though Fang Yuan and He Lulan's alliance agreement was gone, he could not directly refine attitude goo. It was a problem.